Hello, welcome to the Red Devils report. We're back here again to preview the next of the games in the Premier League. This week we're up against our,
Handy one.
yeah, a nice handy one. Well, maybe a couple of years ago it'd be handy. It's been tough now the last while. Man City in the derby.
I don't ever really remember this being a handy one.
A couple of
Even
years
even before they got money.
in the 90s, you'd usually go out and hammer them. It'd be a tough game, but you'd still hammer them, sort of
They
thing.
weren't in the league for long in the 90s.
No, exactly, because they got hammered all the time. But yeah, Red Devils report, part of the upper tier, under the upper tier flag on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Obviously, like, share, and follow on YouTube and all of our Twitter handles. You can see ours behind us there, and from there you'll find links to all the other boys' stuff. So make sure to do that. Obviously, we're up against City this weekend, and based on Liverpool last weekend, the midweek game, this could be a rough one. But as always, we're going to be United till we die.
It was 2 weeks ago. Liverpool was, and then Spurs, and then Atlanta,
Yeah.
and now this.
Yeah, not a Spurs was a good game, but
It doesn't get any easier after the break. Chelsea after the break, I think, is the first game.
I know, yeah. But obviously we go in here against City. It's going to be a very tough game. I think it was looking like we are going to be playing this five at the back going forward now for the next little while. But I don't know if that's going to happen now. With obviously Varane has been ruled out for a month.
I think it'll still do. I'd like to see Ollie be a bit braver here. I know it's City, but they were beaten 2-0 by Palace last time out.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? What I do here is you could potentially go Bailey if he's still fit.
Yeah. I think Bailly deserves to start after the game he had. Now he deserves.
If he's fit, he plays.
Now, as Darren says, he could have the game of his life, and then he could have the worst day ever the next game. But you still have to take that risk.
Maguire's not doing much better, really, is he? So.
No, and he's going to start as well. See, the thing is, I don't know if we can do three at the back because
I'd play McTominay in there, and then play Fred and Van de Beek to compact the midfield.
Yeah, I would like to see that, but Van de Beek is not going to be starting no matter what. I
know, but that'd be ideal. That's where I said I'd like to see him be a bit braver. Like midweek in the 5 minutes or 7 minutes that Van de Beek was on, he probably offered more than.
He did. He definitely offered more than Pogba did. He had a great get. Well,
Pogba can fuck off.
He had a great couple of minutes when he came on. I think.
Imagine he had a nicked it.
I know. Yeah, that's what we said. Me and Darren said on the thing. It would have been poetic justice to have him nick it, even though we didn't deserve to win the game. To have him be the one to get the goal would have been great.
Atlanta deserved at least 4 points out of those two games.
Yeah, but in the end, we got the 4 points and they got the one. So
fuck them.
Yeah, I'll happily take that. I don't know if Lindelof will be back. He was injured in training coming up to the Atalanta game, but they didn't specify how bad it was. So you could see him getting shafted in here with the back three of Lindelof, Maguire, and Bailly. I wouldn't like to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it either. Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are going to get their starts anyway. We know that.
That could be the one there. They could play Telles and move Shaw in.
Could try that, yeah.
That's where Shaw played when we played them last time out.
Have Shaw on the left-hand side of the three at the back, yeah.
And then you put Maguire in the centre.
And then Bailly on the right side. Yeah, it could work, yeah.
Now, as I was saying, I'd prefer to see maybe Scott drop in if you have to, and try and do something different with the midfield.
Yeah, and we know Scott can do it as well.
That City midfield you could probably get at tomorrow. But
depending, we know Scott can drop into there because obviously that's where he plays on the internationals with Scotland. Yeah. I think you're guaranteed that Fred and Scott are starting tomorrow.
If they're both fit, they both start.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised to see Matic starting here as well. Now, there's someone who could maybe go in at centre back.
No, not a chance. No, too slow.
I mean, he's not much slower than Maguire.
Yeah, but we can't have two of them in there.
True, but
Yeah, no. I like Matic, and he still offers a bit. When he plays, his passing is still good enough to be there. His reading of the game is still great.
I think he could command. I think he could command that back line a little bit better than anyone else there could. So it might be worthwhile maybe trying him. I'm not saying he'd be great, But as a quick fix for the likes of Varane being out, if Lindelof is still out as well, like maybe.
I think the easiest option would be Shaw tucking across and play Telles.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't really trust Telles too much in terms of defensive work. He's great going forward.
But let's be fair, Shaw hasn't been doing much this year either.
He hasn't. I would say Shaw's done more defensively this year than he's done in attack, which coming to the end of last season, he was doing well in attack and defense.
Yeah, I haven't found him to be great. I found him been caught out far too much, same as Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
he's offering very little at all now at the minute.
I don't. I think Wan-Bissaka gets a bit of a raw deal because I think he worries a lot about the players in the center of the pit, like the centre backs players. I think he spends too much time worrying about what he's going to have to cover in the middle rather than worrying about his own man, which doesn't say much about our centre backs. But
well, it should be fixed now theoretically.
His
side should be fixed now.
Well, it would be if Varane could stay fit, but unfortunately, that
I
doesn't.
I don't think he was fit when he came back the first time.
No, I think we kind of rushed him back because we needed him for the games.
First game.
Yeah, and we should have sat him against Atalanta. We shouldn't have played him.
I think if Lindelof was fit, Lindelof played instead of him.
Yeah, I think maybe it would have been 3 at the back with Varane rested and had Bailly in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, middle of the park, we're going to get Fred. I think attacking wise, you're guaranteed Bruno, guaranteed Ronaldo. The question is, does he go
Cavani as well?
Does he go Cavani and Ronaldo here, or does he go Ronaldo and Greenwood or Ronaldo and Rashford again?
I'd say it'd be near enough the same way he played against Spurs. Cavani will be the presser. Ronaldo will be Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And then you'll have Bruno sitting in just behind as a deep line, sort of 8 to 10.
Yeah, and then this could be the one where you see Sancho start now. I think you might see Sancho and Rashford start this one. I think Greenwood might be dropped to the bench here. As good as he's been, and I don't want to see him drop because I think he's one of the better players we've had all season.
Although you can't play every game either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially at that age. Yeah, and especially at that age, he still is only 20. So
the prime example of that was Michael Owen. The man was burnt out by the time he was 25.
Yeah, exactly. So you're better off resting the kid there and then letting Sancho get some game time.
He needs it. He needs it badly.
He does. It's going to be a tough game no matter what because City, although they did, as you said, they lost 2-0 on the weekend there to Palace. It's not like that's going to affect their confidence in any way. They're still going to play the same game they've always played.
It's that system that Guardiola has.
Yeah, if you get caught out, you get caught out, but it'll win more games than it'll lose.
Yeah, well, there's a reason. I think he's one of the most winningest managers.
It's his mentality.
If that's even a word.
it's his mentality as well.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they have no out and out striker,
I think save us a little bit.
I think it hurts that City team at the moment. And I think it'll save us because we won't have someone playing like the 3 centre backs won't need to be marking up any out and out strikers. Now it does mean that the likes of Foden, possibly Sterling, possibly Mahrez running at the centre backs, which doesn't bode much confidence for us.
Jesus and Torres as well.
Yeah, Torres as well. Jesus isn't lightning or anything, so I wouldn't be overly worried about him running at a defender.
Sterling probably the quickest. Mahrez is definitely the best of them.
Yeah. Foden's quick.
Wise. Foden just looks different level above.
Yeah.
Like even this season, I'd say Foden's been better than De Bruyne. Like De Bruyne's been very poor. Really.
De Bruyne has been non-existent to me. I don't think he's been up to anything.
Barely
gets a mention.
Foden's been the man this year.
Foden and I think that boy Torres. I think he's something else as well.
I wanted us to sign him.
Yeah, their defense isn't great either. Ederson has been very questionable this season now as well. He's had a few mistakes in him, and De Gea has been back to his best. I know the Atlanta game there was the mistakes, but I think he's been back to his best really. But I think Ederson is on the decline here.
It seems every goalkeeper in the league this year is struggling.
Sort of, yeah.
Every goalkeeper's making mistakes.
Yeah, true.
I haven't seen any goalkeeper that hasn't made at least one.
No, and I think goalkeepers always have a mistake in them, but I think this season it's just been pounced on more. Maybe attackers are just a
the
little bit.
goals are going in from it.
Yeah, they're just getting caught out that bit more. Like usually there's always that mistake, but it doesn't end up getting scored or whatever.
Yeah.
This one could go either way. Like as we say, form actually doesn't matter in a game like this when you're in a big derby. Obviously this isn't the biggest. Liverpool, I still think, is the bigger derby for us. Well, it's not a derby, but the bigger rivalry in terms of a game. But and that was a lackluster event from our point of view. And even from a Liverpool point of view, I think it was a little bit lackluster. Like they weren't great either. We were just that bad.
Even there is Liverpool fans that have said that, and like that's not us having a pop. Like we were shy.
Yeah,
Liverpool were good. But like would you say they were great on the day?
Yeah, on the Shankly Sessions, obviously another show on the network, Niall and Dean both said that they didn't think Liverpool played fantastically either. It was just,
I said on that, I said on the one after that, I said if United had scored that early chance, it could have been a difference.
I think it would have been a different game. Yeah, you would have got a different game. So hopefully if we get an early chance here, we manage to put it away this time. But
like here, this is the one I'd always say, even when we used to go out for food and all to watch the games, go in hard early in the tackle.
Yeah.
Get the crowd going, get the team up, and then
it's the one where you want someone like McTominay just hit somebody hard quickly. Not nasty or anything, but just hit him hard, put him down on his arse.
Nice big fair shoulder, something like that. That's not going to risk you a yellow card.
Yeah, exactly. One that'll get you the warning. Don't be at that now. You're just like, okay.
Get the crowd up, and then see what happens. Ollie has a great record
against these. Yeah, he really does.
Well, it is and it isn't. Like the two cup games, obviously we played in the semi-final against them in the 2 years in the Carling Cup. Lost 1-1 each time.
Yeah, I think all of our managers over the last while have had pretty decent records against these. It's because of the style they play. Like we played counter-attacking football, which has kind of played into our hands. Like
like I will say, he's got the better Guardiola more times than a little.
Yeah, but I think that's because Guardiola plays that high press, and then if you get caught out and you have someone like Rashford sprinting from the halfway line, and you've got
you're not catching him. Walker might, but that's about it.
Yeah, if Walker's there, he might, but Stone's not a chance he's catching him and things like that. So I
don't think you'll see Stones even tomorrow. I think it'll be Laporte and
even Laporte's not going to catch him. Diaz,
neither of those are.
Neither of them are going to be catching someone like Rashford on the run or Ronaldo if he gets on that break. Ronaldo doesn't sprint around a whole lot anymore, but when he's put on a break and it's like, right, put the juice on, he's gone. Like he's lightning when he needs to be for a short burst.
Over 5 to 7 yards, it's ridiculous for a 36-year-old.
Even I'd say if he got on the break from the halfway line and there was no one in front of him, he'd put on a burst of speed and he'd get there and he'd be fine after. It's he'll do short bursts of massive speed. But he's not going to be running up and down the whole game anymore. He's too old for that.
Yeah. Cavani's still got a little bit of pace to him. Not as quick, obviously, but
he's not as quick, but he's tenacious. He won't give up. He'll battle through to the end of it. Like,
that's why I think I wouldn't be surprised to see the two of them start.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he decided to rest the likes of Cavani and bring him on a half time or something.
Well, he rested him midweek.
I know, yeah, but I think the rest midweek was more, we shouldn't need him.
Well, it was more enforced as well.
A bit enforced, and also we don't really need him. We shouldn't really need him for this game. Now we did need him, but I'd say we went in with the idea of we should have enough out there, and we did have enough out there. We just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see a better display out here against these, because if we play like that, it's going to be a rough old day.
Bad all day.
What would your prediction be anyway?
Last time I said score draw, we lost 5-0. It's harsh. I don't want to say it, but I think City win.
What score do you give them a dominating win, or
no? City haven't been great, really. 2-1.
I'd be a little bit more optimistic. I think the way that City plays into our hands, and that's why I don't think it's Ole being out-tacticking Pep or anything like that. I think it's just the way that they plays into our hands. Yeah, it just plays into our hands. So I'm going to go for a scrappy 2-1 victory here.
But I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'd love to be right. Now some people will say that they'd rather see us lose and Ole gone. But I'll never want to see us lose,
You
no
know
matter
what?
what
I say
demands.
that. I'd said that a couple of times in the group chat when I'm really pissed off about it. Just lose and let him go.
Yeah, but you never actually want to see them
I
lose.
don't think I ever really want to see United lose.
Exactly. I don't want to see them lose, even if it means I would get rid of this manager. I don't care. Still want to go out. Still want to win the game. Like
if the United board had the balls, they just
yeah,
bite the bullet and look at Spurs. 17 games into his contract, and they got rid of
yeah.
Nuno.
Well, Spurs are always like that, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been renowned for it, but I felt a bit harsh for him. 1-9, lost 6, drawn 2.
Yeah, I mean he didn't have an awful record, and it's not like he came into a very great Spurs team because he had the main man in Kane obviously wanted out, but
he's not even there. He's gone.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously it's going to be a big game. I think 2-1. You think 2-1, but we both think opposite ways here. So we'll have to wait and see.
I hope I'm wrong. I said score draw for the Liverpool game. That was thing. What score did I say for Spurs? I said United beat Spurs.
2-1 you said for Spurs,
Yeah.
and I said 3-1.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah. I think I might be going a little bit from the heart here by saying that we're going to win. But
if I went from the heart, I'd say a 5-0 win.
Nah, I'd never be that. My heart wouldn't be that big, but I'll always predict us to win. I think really. I think it'd be very hard for me to predict us to lose.
90% of the time, 99% of the time I will, but I just think the Spurs game was great, and it was a great fight back from what they suffered the week beforehand. But then the lackluster display on Tuesday night was just piss poor.
Yeah, but then again, we had the lackluster display against Liverpool and went out and beat Spurs. So you never really know, I suppose. It'll be interesting to see what team he goes with, obviously with no Varane.
I would like to say it's going to be De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Bailey, Maguire, Shaw, Telles.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that, but I think
Fred. It'd be Fred, Matic, I'd say. Bruno.
I think Scott's getting into this game. I think this is the game.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I put Shaw across. Sorry, not Matic. Shaw, McTominay.
Yeah.
Bruno in the 3, and then obviously you'll have Ronaldo and co.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. I can't see him changing up too much. I think he'll stick to the players he knows. He likes the ones he has there.
I'll tell you what, Fred must be scoring worldies every day.
Well, I don't care. He's meant to be a defensive midfielder. I don't want to see him scoring. I don't care if he's scoring goals in bloody training. If he's not scoring them when we're playing, I don't care because he's a defensive midfielder, so he needs to settle back down. But we'll leave it there for this week, and hopefully when we're doing the review of this game, it's with smiles on our faces rather than like the last one.
I hope I'm wrong.
Rather than like our last clash with Liverpool, where it was a very dour podcast for the review. But until then, good luck.